Today I'm just going to cover a very important topic, and it actually has to do with the heavy bag. And the reason why I decided to cover this topic is because usually when you step into a gym for the first time, usually the first bag you actually learn how to hit is the heavy bag. And the heavy bag could actually be your friend or your foe, depending on how you actually work the bag. And what I mean by this is that sometimes coaches have a problem with the heavy bag because of the way they're worked, not with the heavy bag itself, but the way the fighter actually works the bag. And today I'm just going to go over certain habits that fighters actually do on the bag. One of the problems that coaches have when fighters actually work the heavy bag is having their hands low. That's probably like the most basic principle of boxing and combat sports in general. Always keep your guard up, hands up, protect yourself at all times. But sometimes fighters work with the bag like this. Okay, what's the matter with this? First of all, your punching technique. You're punching pretty awkwardly. Not only that, you're leaving your face exposed. This heavy bag is pretty much about perfecting technique. Perfecting technique and conditioning. Simply just put your hands up a little bit. Put your hands up a little bit and start working your technique. Start working the distance, whether it be upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. Just simply work your technique. Another problem that coaches have when fighters are working the heavy bag is the fighter being too stationary. Sometimes there's exceptions. Like sometimes when you're pretty much in a stationary position, sometimes a lot of coaches will have you doing conditioning drills. Conditioning drills are different, but right here we're talking about more tactical work. Coming back to the point, what I mean by being a stationary fighter is this. There's fighters that maybe their technique is good or maybe it's off, but fighters that work the bag like this. That's great and all, especially if you're a beginner, because you learn how to perfect your punching technique. But let's say you're more intermediate or maybe advanced, you kind of have to want to be able to move around. And I'm not just talking about footwork, I'm talking about head movement as well. You kind of have to imagine that the bag is in opposition. You kind of want to start developing other skills as well, not just punching technique and power. So when you're working the heavy bag and want to implement those types of movements, maybe instead of just throwing flurry of punches where you lose technique and you're just pretty much going for power, try to actually pick shots. Start moving around, slipping punches, use your footwork, pick a shot. Pick a shot. Try to mimic as much as a fighter as you possibly can. Move around, slip, slip, lateral steps, slip, slip, cross. Jab, 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 jab your way in there, cross, step out, 1, 2, step out. Any type of movement that's beneficial for you to use inside a boxing ring. The last problem that a lot of coaches may have with fighters working the heavy bag is this problem is usually found in beginners, people that are actually starting off the sport. And that's when fighters actually try to hit the bag hard and fast, and they lose technique and form and actually hurt themselves punching the bag. That's very dangerous, right? So a lot of fighters, especially the ones that are starting out, they don't have the technique down. They don't really know how to throw those punches correctly. So since they don't know how to throw those punches correctly, when they're exerting so much force and so much power behind these shots, they could actually get hurt, or sometimes they even hit the bag wrong and they hurt the wrist, or sometimes even their shoulders if they're throwing all these wide punches. For example, like this. Alright? Something like that. How do we fix this? How do we fix this in beginner? It's simple. Just work everything that I told you in this video. Work on your technique. You know, chin down, jab, protect your chin with the jab itself, with the shoulder. So boom, 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 boom. Stationary target first. And after you got the punching technique down, you can actually start implementing movement. now that you actually perfected your punching technique and your movement, now you're allowed to throw these power punches. Now you're allowed to throw punches with a lot of force and a lot of speed, man. So before I actually close this video, I just want to clear up a few things that might be confusing in the video. Okay, not every error showed on this video is an error to a different level. And what I mean by that is, let's say for example, the stationary error or the problem that coaches have with fighters being stationary, that could be a problem for intermediate and advanced fighters that actually have some time and need to work the heavy bag a little bit differently, right? But for a beginner, that might not be an error, because sometimes coaches will actually have you working the heavy bag in a stationary position, throwing the jab over and over and over and over again till you perfect it, till your technique is pretty much covered and you're able to pretty much move on to the next thing, which would be, you know, considering this video, learning how to do movement. And after that, you know, you go on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You build upon that. So some of these errors, they're errors to a certain level of fighters. So comment down below, tell me if you guys want me to do a full heavy bag workout. Comment down below, tell me. I'll actually do a 12-round heavy bag workout for beginners, intermediates, maybe even advanced stuff. But yeah, man, tell me, what do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see me hit the heavy bag, or what type of tutorials or breakdowns do you guys want me to do down below? Just comment down below and tell me what you guys want to see from us. Follow us on our social media, the links are down below. Follow our main Instagram page down below as well. We cover pretty much the news of everything that's going on in combat sports. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. That way you guys are notified every time we upload a new video. Thank you guys.